right, everybody. Welcome into the Dane and Wayne Show.
Yes. Episode, what is it? 12?
12.
Nice.
A dozen. We're up to a dozen.
We're up to a dozen. We're getting a lot of good positive feedback from our, friends, followers, fans.
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints.
It's been great.
So
I'm rocking the backwards hat.
Oh.
To memorialize. I wasn't going to say to honor, but it's in memoriam of Dan Quinn. And his backwards hat.
Oh, the backwards hat.
And our conversation we had a couple weeks ago about how old is too old to wear the backwards hat.
I mean, I've never worn the backwards hat.
Yeah.
I'll do the backwards hat maybe if I'm just like messing around with my hat, like turning it around and then turning it right back around. Yeah. I think maybe 15 is too.
Yeah. If I'm playing basketball, I'll turn it around so that I have that.
So you can see, if
exactly.
you're maybe playing tennis, you don't want it to, obstruct your serve. So
right, exactly.
I get it.
That's the only time.
No,
that's the only time.
I heard a debate about the backwards hat, and I brought it up to you, and you brought up. They were like, "What's too old to wear the backwards hat?" So it's kind of I like that you brought it out this evening.
Yeah, Dan Quinn, way too old. I hate seeing him on the sidelines. Is worse than last year, obviously. He was up in the booth for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
they show him a lot more, obviously, now that he's head coach. But
Al Michaels was trying to give him a lot of love.
He was.
He said he's a real positive person, which we love positivity.
Sure. Yeah,
but positively lose that backwards hat.
Yeah, I'm sure that other people feel the same way. Other teams' fans feel the same way about Sirianni. He's got that punchable face.
And hate the face guy. I hate his face.
Yeah, I just felt that way every time that he was celebrating after Elliott missed a field goal last night. I was just like,
I want to throw him in the garbage, throw him in the trash.
So I'll turn it around now.
No, you don't got to turn around. You got to rock the backwards hat the entire episode.
No, because I'll look like a hypocrite then. For anybody who doesn't listen to the whole episode, they'll be like, he was just clowning people that wear backwards hats above 30. So
I got you.
Plus, you got to rock the Flyers a little bit. They won in overtime last night.
They did.
A little short shout out. I'm sure that nobody was watching that game.
I tuned in for about 2 minutes. I was watching the Jamaica USA game. Is what I was watching, and then I was watching the Eagles game. And Jamaica's soccer, football never ever performed, so I was kind of just like, all right, that's what it is. But the Eagles game kind of took the most of my focus last night. So,
but it's been 2 games since we last had a show, so we want to go back
4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, so we want to go back a little bit to the Dallas game, celebrate that a little bit. I know you put something out on social media earlier this week with your review of the game, but yeah. What are your main takeaways from the Dallas game?
It was a beatdown in Dallas. Like I said, the first half was very, very slow. Not what we were looking for. Jalen with the 2 turnovers, which he hasn't had a turnover in a couple weeks, so that was not good to see. Positives that I take away from the game: he had 4 total turnovers, 2 passing, 2 rushing. Saquon didn't have a monster game, but he did just enough.
Good enough, yep.
And we gotta be real. The defense played well. Jalen Carter was in the backfield. They forced a couple fumbles or forced a fumble, an interception. How do we feel about that? Like how that Dallas game played out?
Yeah. The interception they had in the end zone. Obviously, you don't want red zone turnovers.
No,
absolute worst. And it looked like he was a tick late to get the ball to Goddard, and Trayvon Diggs made a great play.
He did. Was the sun in his eyes, or did he need curtains? I'm sorry.
I think he was farther enough down the field where the sun wasn't bothering him at that point.
Okay.
Plus, I heard after the game that he knew the coverage. He knew what the coverage was going to be on that, and he told Grant Calcaterra to get out wide, and he was going to hit him. And then he just decided to try to force it.
He went rogue.
He tried to force it to Goddard anyway. He was like, watch this. And then he got picked off.
Let me show you my cannon.
Yeah. He's like, the usher, watch this. Watch this.
Let me stop.
Man. But yeah, then the fumble was egregious. Absolutely
egregious. The fumble was bad. The fumble made me want to pull my ears off and my eyes out is what I wanted to do. And I texted you right away. Like, I didn't say turnover machine. I didn't say that, but I was annoyed because the first half just looked super slow, and Dallas couldn't do anything. Dallas couldn't get the ball across the goal line. They gave him a gift on the goal line, and the defense actually stepped up and stopped him in that position, and they kicked the 3 points.
That's what was great. I was going to say that. The 2 drives that they scored on was the one where they got the really good return by who's the Turpin. They got a really good return from Turpin, got like to the 47-yard line or something, or 45. So they had a decently short field, great field position, and then got a field goal. And then the other one was the gift that Jalen gave them, and the defense came up huge and forced a field goal. I mean, what did they have? 50 net yards or something like that passing because of all the sacks that they had.
It was ugly.
Incredible game by the defense.
Dallas looks completely discombobulated. I think Dak's about to get his hamstring put back on or put back together. They're about to shut him down for the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not complaining. When Dallas loses, no one in Philadelphia is feeling bad about Dallas.
No, not at all. Their defense has been bad. They haven't had DeMarcus Lawrence. They just got back Micah Parsons. Back 7 hasn't been very good. And yeah, it's just the offense is stale. McCarthy's scheme
McCarthy's out the door. I
think so. But they've done a horrible job managing the cap, and they've got so much money tied up in 3 players. It's just, you knew this was going to happen. They've got to get better at managing the cap, or else it's going to continue to happen. And I'm here for it. I love it. I love seeing it.
I like seeing them lose. I like seeing Dallas lose. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
Right. So yeah, and I can't believe that sun. That's ridiculous.
What, the shades? I mean, but they have shades.
Do they have shades?
I heard that there's shades in that part of the stadium, that if a concert's going on, they can lower the shades.
I choose not to.
I could be wrong, but the thing is, because Jerry Jones had a meltdown with a reporter when the reporter was like, "Yo," because CeeDee Lamb said it. He was like, when on that crossing pattern, which he hit him in the right spot, but if you can't see the ball, it's not gonna matter. Jerry Jones was like, what do you want me to blow up the stadium and rebuild it? Like, no, just put something in that spot. Every year you play football at the same time in the stadium,
Yeah, especially like after daylight savings, like when daylight savings expires, and then you put your clocks back. Then your 4 o'clock games become 3 o'clock games, and it's just the sun is going down at that time.
The sun's never.
They play a lot of games at that time. They're usually in the 4 o'clock window.
Correct.
So yeah, it's egregious.
That's mismanagement on a whole nother level.
My question though is, could you raise and lower them? The shades I'm asking about. Could you raise and lower them depending on
who is on offense and defense?
So Jalen was staring directly into the sun and couldn't do anything for that
first
drive,
half.
or the couple drives, or whatever it was. Could they leave him up for that and then lower them for when the Cowboys are on offense?
I would if I was the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Is there a rule against that?
I don't think there is. I would totally do that. It's an advantage. If the other team can't see or you can't see, you cannot. That is literally an advantage that you can't rewrite or can't make up because the sun's in your eye, So, but enough about the weather and the sun.
Yeah, I wasn't so mad about it. I was irritated when Jalen was struggling so much, and then when CD didn't even see the ball coming to him, and you would have been a touchdown. I was like, okay,
this is what's wrong.
It's affecting both teams. So
I think Kellen Moore touched on it too when they asked him about it on Monday or Tuesday. Like, yo, was that a thing? And he was like, yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So Dallas, to me, like I said, that's malpractice on Dallas. They have the stadium. It's $1 billion stadium. Use it to your advantage, man. But hey, if you don't want to do that, that's up to you.
Yeah. But we got to give Bryce Huff his flowers. He got a sack.
Bryce Huff got a sack fumble.
I think he used the club from his wrist injury. He used the club to punch out the ball.
He did, and then it was football follies.
It was. It's like 2 offensive linemen tried to pick up the ball
into each other. I haven't seen that in years.
Oh man!
And I think maybe like Mark Sanchez, like that fumble that he ran into his lineman, and like I haven't seen a crazy play like that in a while.
Yeah.
So that was fun to see.
When I was growing up, I had this Football Follies VHS tape that I would watch. It was so great. Of like in the 70s and 80s. Because they weren't as athletic.
Wayne, which audience are we speaking to? Hey, describe what a VHS is.
The 40-somethings. The 40-somethings like us who who grew up with the VHS tapes. All right,
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I had to rewind it every time before I wanted to watch it again.
Right.
Oh man, if you didn't rewind something,
you're getting in trouble.
Yeah,
please
absolutely.
Be kind. Rewind.
Well, I just mean even at your own house. Like if you, but I guess I was the only one watching that tape, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, it was funny because people. The players weren't nearly as athletic.
No.
And you had a lot more of those types of fumble rooskies and guys running the wrong way. Each other. Oh, man.
Crazy.
But anyway, we want to move on to last night?
Last night, we can move on to last night, which was a big Thursday night game. Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Hurts, Washington Commanders versus the Eagles. It was a very, very good game. Well, I can't say the first half. Again, was slow, and then they kind of got their footing like third quarter going through the fourth quarter. How do you feel like the defense showed up again, played big? Jalen Carter has been playing like a monster.
He played every snap last night.
Oh, for real?
Played every snap.
All right.
For a defensive tackle, especially his size, I mean, that's incredible.
Then that means that they're Fangio is clocking him in. He's like, yo, you're playing. And you're not coming out the game.
Yep.
Bond is playing like Ray Lewis. Let me take that back. I take that back, Ray Lewis. I'm sorry. All right.
I wonder if I'm sure they're trying to re-sign him. I'm sure Howie is calling his agent.
Who, Carter?
No,
or Bond.
Yeah, Bond.
I mean, when was the last time the Eagles had a linebacker that you're like, yo, this guy is in every play?
Yeah.
He's around the ball. He's sideline to sideline.
And he and Dean play really well together.
Dean has...
Yeah, they switch off, when they're in coverage together, and they look really good. I'm just saying, he's on a 1-year deal right now. It was a prove it deal, and he's proven it.
No,
and they need to lock him up.
So the thing that I hate about that is you're getting this like out of body Zach Bond. Does he get a bag and then? I
mean, you hope not, but
okay.
You're hoping. The hope from the Eagles' perspective is that this is the first time he's playing off-ball linebacker.
Right.
He was an edge rusher, outside linebacker for his whole career up until now, and special teamer. They even called him that in the introductory press conference, or when they talked about signing him. They're like, yeah, he's going to be a special teams demon, and they're going to great outside linebacker and he's rusher. And Vic Fangio's like, nah, I'm going to plug him in.
Well, it's funny that's a good, excellent point that you make, because I remember when he signed and they were talking about him with, on the radio stations and even just on like TV, and they would reference him as like Zach Bond. Who was the guy that they cut that they signed from Tampa? Devin White. Devin White was supposed to get that spot, but for some reason.
I think Devin White was supposed to get that Nakobe Dean spot.
Okay.
I think Fangio penciled Bond in as the starter, which I didn't expect.
No,
in preseason I didn't expect him to be penciled in as a starter,
and not to be.
I thought it was going to be Dean and White maybe, but yeah, he's been great, and you hope that because he's playing this new position and he's fantastic at it, that he'll just keep getting better.
Is he 30?
No, I think he's
nowhere close. 27. All right.
So he might have a couple more good years in
How he signed the man. Give him his money.
I'd be happy with a 3-year deal. I don't know.
Give the man his money, man.
Yeah.
But we still got a long way to go. It's only week 10 or 11? Is it week 10?
Eagles are 8-2 with a bye, so
all right.
Week 11.
Week 11. Yeah. Give the man his money. Bond's been doing an excellent job. The defense is playing out of their mind. Who do we want to? Quentin Michael.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell. Call him Michael. Come on.
You're calling Quentin Michael.
Oh,
safety.
God. Don't
safety
bring that up.
That's
day. What, 2009?
I don't know.
That's a long time ago. I don't even remember that far back. But
Quinyon Mitchell, just unbelievable. You look at somebody posted just all the stats for the premier wide receivers that he's covered this year, and it's like 1 catch for 8 yards, 2 catches for 12 yards, and it's just nothing.
It's nothing.
And you got Terry McLaurin, 0 for 0.
0 for 0. I heard something crazy today that I like. Somebody posted, his stats, and the person's response to it was, y'all only won because you were running the ball and you had rushing touchdowns. So he was saying that Mitchell didn't shut anybody down. I was like,
they did. They showed like a cut up of all of the times that he was
when
on.
I heard that, I said, "All right, that's some grade A prime hate right there."
It's a guy that didn't watch the game at all.
But anyway, so who do we want to shout out on the offense? Did Jalen turn the ball over yesterday?
No.
All right, no turnovers for Jalen. We got to give him his flowers. Saquon, monster game.
Oh my gosh!
Saquon had 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And
he got tackled at the 1 again. But
you saw his face. Oh my god!
Would have had 3 touchdowns.
Yo.
Oh man.
Yo, so when they show that replay of his face swing when he went down, he did
again.
Oh my god! I know who's getting the ball, and Jalen just had this stupid grin on his face, like it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
So we can't be mad at that.
But yeah, I mean, it was incredible. My wife was trying to stay up and watch it with me. Fell asleep when it was 12-10.
Okay.
And then missed the 4th down stop. Missed the ensuing touchdowns and missed everything. Woke up and it was what 26-10.
26-10.
I was like, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Now I gotta ask you a question because I texted you this. If Sirianni makes the decision that Quinn made to go for it on that 4th down and
what
missed
he was
it,
doing,
what would be going on in Philadelphia today?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was
would be the top story.
Okay.
That would be absolutely the top story.
Would you have taken the points and kicked the field goal?
They just got stuffed on 2nd down and 3rd down.
You did say that.
And they decide, let's try it again on 4th.
Let's roll the dice. And Jaden Daniels is a solid player from what I see.
Yeah.
But like you said, you got stopped on 3rd, you get stopped on or 2nd and 3rd down. They go up 13-12. Yes, the Eagles have to drive down the field and, kick a field goal, which yesterday the kicker
was shaky. I mean, come on.
Played
a shaky field goal kicker. Why not take the points? Zane Gonzalez has been lights out. Hasn't missed anything yet since he got signed off the street the other week.
As I saw it playing out, Wayne, I'm like, is he pulling a Sirianni? I was like, he pulled a Sirianni.
Yeah, the analytics that I follow say field goal.
Okay.
And these are the nerds that get real into it, and usually it's a go.
Ask Madden. Hit the Ask Madden button.
Yeah, Madden would have said to kick a field goal.
The field goal.
But,
I got you.
Yeah, it was like a pretty strong go for it. I think the difference in win probability was like 2.5% if you kick the field goal versus you don't, and that's pretty big when it comes to those decisions.
No.
So I didn't know what they were doing.
Hey.
The Negadelphian in me was like, oh, they're going to pick this up. Like, they're going to get it, and they're going to drive down.
I thought that for half a second, but in my mind, I was just like, yo, just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
And take the lead and play defense. Because their defense, I could see that the Eagles' offense in that second half of that 4th quarter was starting to gash them. They were running those counter plays where they were getting like holes. Gainwell had like 2 back-to-back big runs, and I was like, ooh, it looks like they're kind of gassed, but they were still in the game. So I feel like the Eagles would have had to drive down the field. Another thing I do still want to touch on, and I got to say this: Graham, Sweat, and Nolan Smith played well.
Yeah.
All had sacks. Blankenship had an interception.
Yeah.
Like, do we feel moving forward that the defense is, because this is 6 straight wins?
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel that the defense is at a point where you really trust them and they've bought into Fangio?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because the difference, that's the difference, I think, with Miami last year when he left. Oh, they were just dragging him. Like, old man doesn't know what to do with the new offense.
Right.
We're not going to, we didn't want to buy into that. Like, he doesn't really know what he's doing. And you can tell the difference. The difference now with this team buying in.
And I had said to you at the start of the year, I would be cool if they were top 15. I think they're past the top 15 in defense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I do trust them in such a way that, like, the 3rd and 5s and 3rd and 4s last night, I was like, they have a chance to stop this.
No, whereas we're last year.
Last year, I was like, they need to be at least 3rd and 8 to have any shot at stopping this 3rd down play. And even like the first couple of games of this year, and in the Tampa game, you're just like, okay, they're going to pick up every single 3rd down.
No.
So they've been great at getting off the field. They've been great at getting sacks. They've been great at causing turnovers, and you can't really ask for any more. It's just been great to watch.
Want to keep it moving. Yeah. Hopefully the defense stays healthy, and the special teams. Kicker needs to figure it out. You can't miss. What was that? 7 points.
Yeah,
he was accounted for, and that could have definitely come back to bite him, but it didn't. So we're gonna be positive and just
crazy because he was so good in the last few years, and like the league has almost caught up in terms of. I saw a stat that the league is kicking 50+ yard field goals at a 70%
with their eyes
clip.
Closed, literally like
70% from 50+, and he's missed all of his. He's over 4.
Anytime I see Sirianni in that 50 range, I'm kind of like, oh boy, good. Just roll the dice, Nick.
Well, yeah, you're saying that now. 2-3 weeks ago, you're like, take the points, coach. Take the points.
I mean, I can say that now, but when you see how at 50, he looks like he's struggling.
Yeah.
Like has to work to kick that 50-yard field goal where 4 years ago he was kicking them with his eyes closed from that
You were
distance.
like, all right, if they get past the 40, all right, field goal territory.
He's good to go.
Yeah.
And
he's going to nail it.
No.
Well, it's not an advantage it used to be.
Yesterday I saw something that I haven't seen for a while. You saw like that, I don't know if you call it worry or just like doubt in his facial expression.
He was like hitting himself in the helmet,
like
on the sidelines.
Which I've never ever seen that out of the kicker ever.
Yeah,
but
and so it's like the chicken or the egg. Did Sirianni know he wasn't, confident in himself, and so that's why he started going for 2 a little bit more, or did it cause the issues?
It caused where we're at right now.
So he's like, yeah, let's go for it on 4th and 3 from the 35. Let's go for it on this, and Elliott's like, What?
You don't trust me. You don't trust me.
So who knows? Who knows how it happened? I don't know. Maybe it's either way. I don't know.
Hey.
But he's got to figure it out.
Well, they can't give away 7 points like that
7
again.
Points every
because
time.
If they do that, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Who do they have next? The Rams. And that's a Sunday night game.
I'm not sure when it is, but it's in LA. But LA has to play on the East Coast this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who they're playing. It's somewhere either Buffalo or New England or somewhere on the East Coast.
Okay.
And then obviously, so the travel, I was irritated that they had to go out to LA and then come back and play Baltimore right away. It felt like a rough turnaround.
That does feel like a rough turnaround because Baltimore's a quality opponent.
But the Rams having to be on the East Coast, and it's that's going to be, and then having that mini bye going into the game, I'm feeling confident against LA. Before the defense was playing that well, you felt like Puka Nacua would take advantage of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like they should be able to handle the Rams. I'm not doubting Matthew Stafford. He's a quality QB, but I feel if they play even a quarter or a half of what they've played and just trust what they know, because you can see like they're watching film, they're seeing what is on film play out on the field, and they're making the right decisions. I think Dean, when he made that interception against Jacksonville against the running back, you heard him on the sideline in one of those like mic'd up moments where he was like, yo, he's gonna run the inside out and I'm gonna sit on it. And he picked the ball off. He was like, yo, I was watching film and I saw that. So if they can keep up doing that, I'm not doubting the Rams. The Rams got a quality coach. He knows how to get his team where they need to be. But to me, I feel like they can handle Matthew Stafford. I'd be more concerned about, like you said, the quick turnaround with them seeing Baltimore right after that. And Lamar Jackson is hot right now.
He is. So going into these 3 games, like the toughest part of their schedule, really, I said 2 out of 3 I'd be happy with.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
If they beat LA, then the Baltimore game doesn't mean as much, especially because it's out of conference.
True.
It only affects the win-loss record tiebreaker, not the conference record. So
the more important win would be to beat the Rams.
You want
Sunday.
Conference, because when you look at the standings, Detroit has all the tiebreakers. They have a great conference record. Obviously, win-loss record is tops with they're 8-1 right now. I can't believe they beat Houston.
Jared Goff 5 picks.
5 picks, and they won the game somehow. But yeah, it's going to be tough to get the number 1 seed right now with how Detroit's playing and how they've had the tiebreakers right now. They would have to lose at least 3 more games, I feel like.
I think we both looked at Detroit's schedule, and I can't see. I can see 2 losses, but 3, you never know. It's still time for the Eagles to, for Detroit to melt down, which I don't think they're going to do. Because I feel like either the national media right now is really on the Detroit train. Yeah. And I feel like Detroit's coach is crazier than Sirianni.
Yes, absolutely. But they all love him. They've bought into that.
So
I had questions going into it, after his first press conference and then
biting off kneecaps.
Yeah, and then Hard Knocks. I was just like, is this guy for real?
That's his energy. That's his energy, but they love it.
And then I didn't really understand the love of the offensive coordinator at that point. This was like 2 years ago.
Right.
Before, last year he was great, and now he's getting all kinds of head coaching buzz at Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, there's no way.
No,
there's no way he's going to be a quality coach, and man, they've bought in and they love him, and he's got a ton of ex players on his staff, like ex really good players, and yeah.
Goff, I don't trust though.
No,
I don't trust. Even though Goff has been to a Super Bowl, I don't trust Goff.
They have to play the Vikings again. You got to play Packers again, I'm sure.
Yes.
So those are two games that
tough division
aren't going to be.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
It's not going to be a walkover. Steamroll.
So, yeah, there's a chance. Birds have a really easy schedule after Baltimore. I mean, they play Dallas, New York, and Washington again, which Washington's going to be the hardest one, obviously, out of that. They have Carolina still on their schedule.
Yep.
Yeah, and a few others.
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is going to be the toughest game,
yeah.
which I'm actually going to that game with my wife.
Oh, you are?
She's a Steelers fan.
Okay.
So
is she going to wear Steelers stuff?
Yeah, we've done it before. We've done that before. I kind of keep her, away from the, like, when you go down there, it's crazy. Oh, yeah. But they play nice. I feel like Eagles fans play nice with Steeler fans, depending on if the Steeler fans just really acting up.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, they're like, well, you reside in Pennsylvania, so they're like, all right. And the Steelers got trophies to back it up, so you can't really.
It's not Dallas or New York or Washington.
But
I saw an Eagles fan yelling at another Eagles fan because he was mad about Jake Elliott missing. I saw this. It was posted. Did you see that too? And he says, "What are you, Marcus Hayes?" To the other Eagles fan.
Get another Bud Light.
It was like
must be Philadelphia.
Oh man, that was a great one.
Must be Philadelphia.
What are you, Marcus Hayes? Oh man, I'm allowed to be yelling at kicker that can't kick anything.
Oh get out of here! Nah, that's what you'll get down there in South Philly, though.
At the vet, you would have had trouble with the Steelers stuff, I think.
I agree with that.
It was a little rougher of a crowd.
No, it was.
They priced those guys out.
They're a little bit more refined at the link. So depending on where you're sitting. So you can find it crazy. But, so pretty much, I think solid 4 days from the Birds.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take it, and we're gonna take this mini bye. And we're gonna move forward to next Sunday. I think it's Sunday night versus the Rams. Do we wanna transition to?
Yeah, because we'll talk more about the Rams game next week when we do our show.
Okay.
Because we have that mini bye, and then
what's next on the table? What do you?
We have to address the Sixers.
Oh God!
I mean, you put out on social media earlier this week about Joel's performance against the Knicks.
I got a little bit roasted saying that, Joel's coming back. That's to be expected. You can't, you don't play basketball. I don't. I'm not a professional basketball athlete. However, if he has the best in the best, with all the ramping up that he was doing. But the thing that I will agree with, you cannot replicate 5-on-5 basketball with ramping up is what they call it. So how do you feel about Joel's debut? Both him and George took the night off against the Cavs, and they play Orlando tonight in Orlando. Yeah. So I'll let you.
Well,
speak.
I was traveling all week, so I was in Atlanta all week. So I only got the second half of that Knicks game after getting back to my hotel, and so I turned it on, and Joel was just missing everything short. You could tell he had no legs, at all the rust, and he had only really made free throws until then, and then he finally hit a three and tried to pump up the crowd as if it was championship moment or something.
Hell no,
dude. Calm down.
Shaq cooked him this week.
Yeah, should have.
He's like, Joel, I need you to do a better job. If I was
not gonna win any championships like that.
I'm the big Aristotle. They call Shaq a hater, but granted, Kobe used to dig into Shaq about coming into the season out of shape, but Shaq wasn't missing, back-to-backs. No. Shaq would be still on one leg and still trying to do his business. I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about Joel. I want to accept him, but the thing is that we've talked about this since we met, Wayne. You cannot count on him to be there when you need him in the most key moments, which is in May and June is when you want him.
Yeah.
Right. And if you can't be there in May and June, like, I'm not discrediting an NBA season, which is 82 games and is hard as hell. But to me, $250 million, come on, man. Come on. Play back to back. Is the knee just, let me ask you this, is the knee completely fried?
Well,
and the Sixers are just like, well, we are going to tell you what we want you to hear. So this is what we're doing and we don't care. Because the Sixers have lied to Philadelphia from time immemorial. You know?
I mean, you sent me that Chandler Parsons clip from today that he thinks he's done and they got to shut him down.
Well, he was getting fried for that. People were like telling him, like, you don't know what you're talking about. But when you look at Joel on the floor, man, his body, and I hate to say this, and I've said this to you before, I don't like to read a player's body language, but Joel's body language are like tells. Like, when he's not in it, you can see it. It's not like, oh my God, his body language sucks and he's playing terrible. No. When his body language is trash, he plays like trash. So, like,
I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Is he playing tonight?
Him and George, we're getting a bonus tonight.
All right,
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks look good, decent. I mean,
the Jalen Brunson. Decent.
Jalen Brunson didn't have a great game.
No, they did enough.
Did enough. And Cat looked good.
Cat did what he does, which is shoot threes. He's gonna mix it up. Something that I sent to you that I hated that I saw, and somebody was like, "It's his legs." He threw the ball off the side of the backboard. Half ran back on defense. Was yelling at the ref or arguing with the ref. I can't remember who shot the ball. Anunoby shot the ball, missed it. Cat walks behind him and dunks it, and he looks back over at the ref asking for a call. Why? Like, just block Cat out and do your job. Why you got to cry to the ref?
Yeah.
On the floor.
Yeah.
Look, man, Joel.
It's gotten tired. It's gotten tired at this point. He used to be fun. He used to enjoy that kind of stuff. He used to his antics and whatnot. But
like, stop being a troll and just be a professional, man. Yeah. Like, go. You want to claim that you're a gold medal championship mindset? Like, why
gold medal? Jeez.
Why? Like, just go do your job. Anyway, bright spots. Can we talk about? Are there any bright spots?
Paul George had what?
29 points. 29 points.
Yeah, so that's nice. But then Jared McCain.
Okay. Jared McCain has had a solid week. Yeah. I like his comment on when the reporter asked him, like, are you comfortable being out there and how do you feel? And he kind of said, like, yo, I don't feel like there's any 15 players in any situation that are better than me. And you need a young player to have that kind of, like, mentality to go and get it. Like, okay, there's 15 players in the room. I don't think these 15 guys are better than me. And that's the kind of mindset that Maxey had when he got his shot, when 25 decided that he didn't want to ball anymore. So if we got two people like that, maybe with Mr. Knee and and playoff P, we can get something going.
Maybe. Yeah. It's been a pleasant surprise. I didn't think much of Jared McCain coming out of college, and came out of Duke, had 1 year there, and then played in the summer league. He looked okay. I mean, he had some nice plays, but wasn't consistent at all.
Nothing that blew you away.
Yeah. And the TikTok stuff, just like, I don't get it.
So can I touch on this? Because I was annoyed at the TikTok and the dancing at first. And then I said to myself, you know what? He's being his authentic self.
Yeah.
If you can be yourself around this type of environment that we live in, I salute that, because they're going to hate when you do good. They're going to hate when you do bad. If you're just going to be yourself,
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So I was annoyed at first, and then my cousin was like, "Yo, this young kid is balling," and I was like, "He is. He's being his authentic self." Which I salute that, Yes, the dancing is annoying, but if you gonna dance and drop 30 on me,
exactly,
you're
afforded those extra luxuries when you play well.
You can dance,
do whatever you want. I mean,
so what do we feel do they win tonight? Because the game starts in about an hour and a half. Do they win tonight? Do I? You're quiet. It's a 2.5 point spread, but nobody knows for informational purposes only.
Who's the favorite?
Orlando minus 114.
114.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a weird number. I looked it up right before we hit record.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll say they get there.
Get out of here. You can't even say that with a straight face. Put all your money on Orlando, but
Joel
don't listen to me.
has 50 and he grabs 15 boards. Yeah, put that in a parlay. That's probably plus 8,000 or something.
I'm not going to talk about parlays or ones that I hit. Josh Hart triple-double.
I was going to bring that up when we were talking about the Knicks. Josh Hart getting 10 rebounds, getting you that triple-double.
Yo, I
plus 2,600.
My eyes closed. I was like, maybe.
Problem is, you only put $10 on it.
Shut up.
Man.
You were like, you should have bet the house.
Should have bet the house.
No, I'm not going to do that. My wife would choke me and body slam me. Get out of here. But anyway, so I'm going to take the Sixers tonight because I'm going to say Paul George is going to do his job. 21 is going to show up and McCain's going to ball out. Is what I'm gonna say. All right. So are we gonna close down the Sixers?
Or the worst case is, McCain comes back down to earth and PG just heaves up shots.
No negativity. We're not. You're like, I'm keeping
it
100.
I'm setting the floor and the ceiling for you.
No doubt. Right. So what else is? Are we closing the Sixers down? Is there something else you wanted to touch on?
Let's close on the Sixers and see what happens tonight.
All right.
But let's go to the most valuable hater. I know you got one.
Oh, I do have a most valuable hater this week. It is a very well-known network. He does this morning show. Dominic Foxworth made a statement on Monday that he would take Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts right now because Jaden Daniels is a more polished product. 9 games, Dominic. 9 games. Or, all right, I'm going to be nice and say 10 games. Come on, man. All right, Jalen Hurts isn't perfect. Jalen Hurts sometimes misses reads. That throw to AJ, right? Look at your face. You were like, yo,
they had a perfect angle for that where he rolls out and he just like throws it. And it's like, but even AJ's just like,
no, AJ did it, and Jalen did the same thing because he was like, yo, I missed that. Dominic, knock it off, man. All right, 9 games does not equal somebody that took a team or got help going to the Super Bowl, battled Patrick Mahomes, was number 2 in the MVP voting, and I'm not even trying to live in the past, but knock it off. Jaden Daniels right now is not a more complete product than Jalen Hurts, and you are my most valuable hater over the week. If you want to at me, you can at me. If you don't care, you don't care, but that's not a good take.
I'm going to at you right now and say that I agree with Dominic Foxworth. No.
All right.
Okay, so not quite. I don't quite agree with him. But if you asked me, I'll reframe the question. If you asked me, which one would you rather have right now, all inclusive of contract situation, age, all of that, which one would you take? I'd say Jaden Daniels. Because he's not getting paid $50 million a year.
Is that the only caveat? Is that the only thing?
And he's younger. I mean,
all right, we gonna see.
Jalen looks.
We gonna see.
Jalen's like the one thing holding back this team right now.
All right,
he is.
And with that, I'm gonna end the episode right now because we're done. We're done. Control Alt Delete.
They're running the ball like crazy, really well. The defense is playing amazing, and they can't figure out the passing game. You
know what? We gonna agree to disagree right here.
I would love to see Jaden Daniels in this offense, see what he can do. Hey, at me. I'm fine with that. At
Hello?
me.
Yeah. Come get him right now. Come get him right now. Yo.
Oh man.
All right. Is there anything else on the table this week? We're gonna put out some more footage. Wayne's crazy. I don't know. It must be. I think it's Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Working all week.
And that's tired. That's where that take came from.
No,
all right, Dominic, let us know how you feel.
Dominic, I'm on your side.
I appreciate all the energy, and anything you want to leave.
I think I had a hot enough take right there that we can leave it there.
Everybody have a good weekend, and Wayne is crazy, yo. Have a good night.